Hey guys, I got to see Iron Man 3, and I'm here to tell you where it ranks in the Iron Man trilogy. Is it better than Iron Man 1? Is it better than Iron Man 2? We all hope so. Iron Man 3 comes out in a couple of days, and I'm going to keep my review of it very vague and spoiler-free so I don't ruin the movie for you, but we're going to talk about it more in depth later after you've seen the movie. As usual, I like to start with what I liked about the movie, so let's get right into it right now. First up, I really enjoyed Tony Stark's PTSD. I was really interested to see how he was going to cope with the events of the Avengers, and I'm glad to see that in this movie he really hasn't found a way to cope yet, and it only adds vulnerability to his character, which is already a great character to begin with. Although I'm really glad to see Tony actively working on his PTSD issues, I was kind of sad to see him not working on his commitment issues. Poor Pepper Potts.
That's you.
I really enjoyed the treatment of the Mandarin, and I know a lot of you out there will probably end up disagreeing with me on this one, but I really enjoyed Iron Man 3's take on the character. I was really curious to see how they were going to take this comic book villain and turn him into a more realistic villain for Iron Man 3, and I think that the solution they came up with was very surprising and eloquent, and Sir Ben Kingsley did an amazing job. Way to go, Sir Ben Kingsley. And as always, the special effects were top notch. Every time I see Iron Man in a movie, he just looks better and better, and this time was no different. They did an amazing job seaming the digital animation with the practical effects, where I can't tell when somebody's in a suit or whether it's an animation. Alright, now it's time to talk about what I didn't like in Iron Man 3. If you're not familiar with Shane Black, one of his things is to set his movies during Christmas time, and Iron Man 3 is no different. But you know what? I have to listen to Christmas music 3 months out of the year as it is, and I don't want to see that in my summer movies. I'm a total Grinch. Leave Christmas out of it. It was totally unnecessary. Another thing that I was really disappointed in was the fact that everyone got a ride in one of the millions of Iron Man suits there were in this movie. I don't want to see everyone in the suit. I want to see Rhodey in it. I want to see Tony in it, and that's it. It cheapens it if you have everybody else getting in it. It's like, oh, so anyone can be Iron Man? And not only that, there were tons of autonomous Iron Man suits flying around. Why does Tony ever even need to get in the Iron Man suit anymore if he already has an army of autonomous Iron Man drones to do all the dirty work for him? I don't know, not my thing. My biggest disappointment is that I just really miss the tonality of the Jon Favreau directing. That guy did a great job directing Iron Man. If you haven't seen it lately, go back and watch the first one because that is a super solid film. And you know why it was so great? Because he didn't have any Marvel studio interference. They just let him do whatever he wanted because at that point, Iron Man was like a C-list character. But Jon Favreau took him and made him a household name. Oh my gosh. Now, I'm not saying that Shane Black did a terrible job directing. Not at all, but this movie felt more like a die-hard Iron Man action flick instead of capturing the spirit of the comics like Jon Favreau did so well. I think we can all agree that Iron Man 2 wasn't as great as we were expecting.
Agreed?
And you know what? It's not Jon Favreau's fault. Robert Downey Jr., Jon Favreau, and Mickey Rourke have all pointed fingers at the Marvel production studios for interfering too much with Iron Man 2 and not letting Jon Favreau do what he really wanted. They ended up turning Iron Man 2 basically into an advertisement for the Avengers and putting in all these subplots that weren't supposed to be there in the first place. So those are my first impressions for Iron Man 3. I say go see it in the theater, although it is definitely no Iron Man 1 in my humble opinion. Let me know in the comments below what you thought about it after you see it this weekend. And if you're wondering whether you should see this movie in 3D or not, I say it doesn't really matter. You can see it if you want to, but if you don't have that extra couple of bucks, save it, you'll be fine. So that's it for today. I'm Comic Book Girl 19, and be sure to subscribe to Cinefix for more summer movies with me right here on Screen Addict.
Get your film fix. Subscribe to Cinefix.